So, David, two of your former managers are going to go head-to-head in the Community Shield in August. We'll talk about David Moyes first. I mean, his job's arguably the one that's going to be under more scrutiny. What do you think he's going to bring to that role as Manchester United manager?
Well, he'll give it his all, first and foremost. His attention to detail, the way he goes about his work. He's fanatical about his football. You know, at work, and you know, when you think everybody's gone away, he'll still be there at the training ground. He'll be at every single game that you can imagine. So he's a workaholic first and foremost, very much in the mould of Sir Alex Ferguson. He's a fabulous coach, first and foremost. You know, his sessions and what he does on the training pitch is phenomenal. He's the best coach I've worked with, without a shadow of a doubt. So the lads will enjoy his sessions. There'll be no lazy days. His demands of all his players will be there every single day, and as much as the expectation levels are put on him as manager, he will have those expectations on every individual player. And they will enjoy the focus and the demands that that top players do, because top players they want to be challenged and they want to enjoy the training, but at the same time there has to be that focus and that drive, and they'll certainly get that off David. Taking on the challenge of being Man United won't be a problem to David at all. He'll be really up for it. He'll work his socks off, and I think he's the right man for the job. But if he gets, he's been a Premier League manager and a Football League manager for many years, so he's not new to pressure, albeit it's a lot bigger now in the expectation levels of winning every game. It just shows you now in pre-season, they've not won every game, and that's been highlighted already. Whereas maybe at Everton over the last 10 years, if they lose a pre-season game, nobody really bats an eyelid. So I know he's ready for the challenge. He'll handle the pressure. He's got good people around him. That's one thing he has done. He's brought good staff around him. Jimmy Lumsden, Steve Round, obviously Phil Neville and Ryan Giggs have come over to the other side of the fence now. And then for him as well, he's got Sir Alex Ferguson in the background, who I'm sure he's already stated that he's going to use for advice as and when is required. But he's very much his own man. Don't be misguided that he's not. He is very much his own man. He's got his own opinions, but he's a good man manager.
I guess one of the newest things to David will be arguably the amount of money that's going to be at his disposal now. I mean, at the time of doing this, he's looking at maybe Fabregas as being one of his major signings, and that'll be quite new to him, won't it, to have that amount of money to spend on players?
Yeah, he's worked under a very tight budget at Everton, hasn't he, over the last 10-11 years, and picked up some gems over the period really. But now he'll have every player in the world at his disposal really to choose from. Another thing, he will look for the young players coming through the ranks as well, which is very important to him. I know it is. I know that yes, he'll go after the Fabregases, the Bales probably of this world, but at the same time, I'm sure he'll keep one eye on the academy and the under-21s at Man United who have notoriously produced their own players through the years. So he's not afraid to put the youngsters in either.
And looking ahead to the actual match, the Community Shield against Wigan, there's a bit more at stake now for both managers, but especially for David Moyes. Yeah,
I think the Community Shield over the years has really caught the imagination. I think it's developed into a real competitive match. Over the last sort of 4 or 5, 6 years, there's been loads of goals scored, and it is, like you say, the curtain raiser. And I think teams take it really seriously now. A little bit of silverware to be added, straight away. And I know David Moyes, how competitive he'll be looking to get that Community Shield, firmly locked up, and his first trophy in the cabinet really. At the same time, Owen Coyle, just taking over now at Wigan. He'll be looking to stamp his mark. There are probably a couple of weeks advanced of Man United in terms of the preparation work and fitness work. So it's got the makings of a good game.